of butterflies. He's got to wait an extra hour to make his season and Braves debut tonight. And a heartwarming ceremony before the game as the Braves honored Sean, his lovely wife Giselle, their 4 children, Sophia, Vanellope, Sean Jr. and Ezekiel. As you know, the Rodriguez family involved in a terrifying car accident down in Miami. And Sean and his entire family recovering from that. Even the Cubs saluting Sean for making it back from the torn rotator cuff. Sean's wife and 2 kids were involved in that accident. Someone stole a police cruiser and crashed into them down in Miami. Everybody's great. Everybody's here for what, Joe, I'm sure is a tremendously emotional day for Sean Rodriguez.
And one that's very rewarding, I think, Chip, in that he has put in so much work. Talking to Jeff Porter about it several weeks ago, I couldn't believe that Sean was close to going out on a rehab. I said, is that right? He said, yeah. And I said, well, I see him here working hard. And Jeff backed that up, said, oh, doesn't miss a day on his rehab. And I think that contributed greatly to his bouncing back this soon. Good numbers in his career. I mean, he's played for 7 different positions. We showed that earlier, if you were with us earlier. Everywhere, as you said, Chip, except catcher and pitcher. He's smart not to put on the catching gear.
Right.
But 9 seasons in the big leagues. And last year had a terrific year with the Pirates. 18 homers, 56 RBIs. We hope he gets off to a great start tonight.
So it is his opening day here on the 17th of July, 2017. Sean Rodriguez will man third base for Atlanta tonight. And the Cubs know all about Sean Rodriguez. Their days opposing him in the National League Central.
Did you see that? Joe Madden tipped his cap to him when he got his attention.
Former manager,
right,
for Sean down in Tampa Bay with the Rays. There is Joe Madden, the defending world champion Cubs, coming off a blistering of the Baltimore Orioles. They scored a run an inning against Baltimore in their 3-game sweep. They hit 10 home runs and wrapped out 41 hits. That's the challenge for Braves starter tonight, Julio Teheran, who's looking for his 3rd lifetime victory against Chicago.
Those are excellent numbers. You see also that in his 6 starts, the Braves have not lost to the Cubs when he started a game against them. A 197 average he's held them to. They like him a lot. And his name, getting closer to the trade deadline, gets mentioned a lot in the Chicago papers. His 4 keys to pitching success tonight. Number 1, welcome to Wrigley Field. That's correct. You're pitching at Wrigley Field. You're not pitching at SunTrust Park, where you haven't won a game yet or have lost 6 in a row. So forget about pitching at home. And with 6 or more days rest, Julio's been outstanding this year. 2-0 with a 1.46 ERA in 4 starts, and he's had 9 days rest coming into this start.
Yeah, that was July 8th, the shellacking of Steven Strasburg and the Nationals. The Braves won that game by a 13-0 final score. So the Cubs may be hitting their stride at 46 and 45. They've won 3 in a row. Ben Zobrist leads off. He's their 2nd baseman. Chris Bryant at 3rd. Anthony Rizzo, the 1st baseman. Wilson Contreras, the catcher. Kyle Schwarber gets the start in left field. He bats 5th. We'll get our first look at Ian Happ, a number 1 pick for Chicago. He's their center fielder. Former Brave Jason Hayward in right field. Javier Baez, the shortstop, and of course John Lester will pitch and bat 9th. The Cubs are trying to catch Milwaukee in the National League Central. The Braves are trying to catch the Cubs and pass the Cubs in the National League wildcard race. So 3 very important games in Atlanta. For Brian Snitker, the Braves have won 7 of their last 10 series played. That's gotten them to 45 and 45 on the year. So here we go. Ben Zobrist to lead things off. And C.B. Buckner says strike 1.
Let's hope he says that a lot tonight for Julio.
An hour and 3-minute delay as the pitch is shot towards second. Brandon Phillips has it, and there's the first out. Here's how the Braves line up defensively. You've got Phillips and Camargo up the middle at 2nd and short. Told you about Sean Rodriguez playing 3rd with a lefty on the mound. Matt Adams gets the night off, so Freddie Freeman starts at 1st base. Tyler Flowers behind the plate. Markakis, Inciarte, and Kemp right to left in the outfield. Here's Chris Bryant. Bryant at 277, 19 homers, but only 40 RBIs. That's a little surprising. And Julio just missed. 1 ball, no strikes.
Julio's had good luck against him in the past. Bryant's 0 for 5 and 5 strikeouts against him.
He's not going to strike him out this time, but he should get him out. Markakis in right field is there and has it. 2 up, 2 down. Good start for Tehran. Here's Anthony Rizzo.
Rizzo, one of about 8 or 9 guys that hit leadoff for the Cubs this year, but he's in the 3 spot tonight.
Well, he's obviously slumping, Joe. Yeah, he hit .306 with 5 homers in the leadoff spot. 22 homers overall, and Rizzo with 3 straight years of 30 or more. This guy stands right on top of the plate, and as a result, he's been hit by 13 pitches this year. So let's see if Julio can avoid that.
And Julio certainly not shy about pitching inside.
Atlanta has a shift on. Rodriguez, the Lone Ranger, on the left side of the diamond, and he missed outside again. Ball 2. Got the call at the knees there. 2 balls and a strike.
First start of the unofficial second half for Julio Tehran. You logically figure half of his remaining starts will be at home. This game could really set the tone for the rest of his season at SunTrust Park.
Breaking ball hammered toward right. Markakis dives. He couldn't come up with it. Great diving try by Nick. And Rizzo's aboard with 2 outs on a base hit to right field.
Breaking ball didn't do much, gave him a chance to adjust to it. And a good call. Great effort by Nick.
So Rizzo at first with 2 outs. Here's Wilson Contreras, the young Cubs catcher. 7 hits in his last 2 games, including 4 hits against the Orioles yesterday. Contreras at .278. And that's downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes.
Boy, what a job he's done since taking over behind the plate.
He was sharing time with Miguel Montero earlier this season, but Montero is gone from Chicago. Big controversy there. They had a Jake Arrieta pitched game where the opponent stole 7 bases, and Montero basically said, well, the pitchers aren't helping me throw out runners. That didn't sit too well with Joe Maddon, and about 24 hours later, Montero was designated for assignment. Victor Caratini, a former Braves farmhand, now the backup catcher for the Cubs. The pitch, blown away to Contreras, and it's 3-0. There's Kyle Schwarber, who began the year as the Cubs leadoff man.
Just looking at Rizzo at first base. They all know about Julio's good move. He's taking a very short lead, but you can't ignore him. For a big guy, 5 stolen bases.
Hitter's pitch now, 3 balls and a strike. Julio challenged him, and it's fouled away. Now Rizzo will be running with a full count.
Julio had a good fastball in Washington. Remember, there might have even been a couple of 95s in that game at Nats Park, and that pitch was 94. Newfound velocity.
So Freeman backs up behind Rizzo. And here comes the 3-2 pitch. Line drive toward left, but Matt Kemp is there. He's got it, and that takes care of the Cubs in the top of the first. John Lester goes to work. He struggles in the opening inning. We'll see if that continues in a moment. Park. Rain has stopped. We're starting an hour late. So far so good. Tehran navigates through the top of the first inning with no issues. Now the hot hitting Braves featuring Ender Inciarte leading off. Phillips, Freeman, and Kemp second, third, and fourth. Flowers, the catcher, Nick Markakis in right. Sean Rodriguez his season debut, and Johan Camargo keeps swinging a hot bat. As a result, he keeps playing for Brian Snitker's club.
As he should. And he'll face John Lester for the first time tonight. John Lester against lefties, not giving up anything. 1 homer, only 3 walks. Check it out. And against 34 strikeouts against lefties. And there are a few in the lineup tonight for Atlanta. He's 33 years old, 6'4", 240 out of Tacoma, Washington, but makes his home now here in Atlanta. 7 starts in the big leagues against Atlanta. 4-2. They're all quality starts.
And that's a great note because Lester gets lefties out. Ender Inciarte hits lefties well. Something's got to give here tonight in this particular matchup against the Cubs.
Well, Lester's had the better of it in their previous matchups. Ender is 0 for 10 against him. Lester throws in the low 90s, and it's cutter, cutter, and more cutters.
Ground ball slowly towards second. That'll be easy for Ben Zobrist. And there's the first out of the game. Joe mentioned that pitching and defense go hand in hand. It did for the Cubs last year when they won the World Championship. It hasn't worked out that way this year for them. They've committed 62 errors, and they're next to last in fielding percentage, surprisingly, in the National League.
Yeah, only Milwaukee has a worse fielding percentage, and that surprises me.
Yeah, the Brewers are in first place. The Cubs are in second, so that is a little odd. So Brandon Phillips bats. Boy, Joe, he had an unbelievably good series against the Diamondbacks, both at the plate and with the glove. Hope that continues tonight. Brandon Phillips yesterday, for the first time in his major league career, had a 3-double game.
The topper to all that is that he's 7 for his last 9, and those 7 hits, 5 doubles and a homer. He's raking.
Brandon said that the All-Star break came at a perfect time for his legs, and he credited an acupuncture treatment that he got in Washington that really helped alleviate some of his discomfort. Braves are certainly enjoying the results. 2 balls and a strike. Was that the cutter?
I think that was more of an off-speed pitch. His cutter is usually more around belt high, breaking bats.
Two and two. And it's headed for the seats right side.
John Lester last year in their World Championship season went 19-5 with a 2.44 ERA. What a year.
Second to Max Scherzer in the Cy Young balloting for the National League. The pitch is rolled towards short. Baez scoops and flips to first. 2 outs. So already things have gone a lot better for Lester tonight than they did in his last start.
Yeah, it's not over.
Well, that's true. He did only pitch 2/3 of an inning against the Pirates. As you said, 10 runs, only 4 of them earned. It was the shortest start for Lester in the major league career. So here's Freddie Freeman, Braves first baseman. 5 for 14 against Lester, including a homer. And off the screen foul.
I did notice in that Arizona series, though, Chip, that despite the fact that Freddie had a terrific game 1 against the Diamondbacks, they didn't really need him in games 2 and 3. Other guys were picking up the slack, including Brandon Phillips.
Arizona, Joe, really, I thought was the first team that did exactly what Lester did right there, and that's try to challenge him inside to see how sound that wrist was.
It's the first time in a while we haven't seen a team overshift on him.
Now it's 1 and 2. Nice stop. Contreras, even count.
Contreras is very spidery back there. He's very limber. He can go to just about any Pudge Rodriguez, Yadi Molina catching position you want. And he's got a great arm. Ow. Off his foot.
Well, this is a different challenge for Lester, too. I'm sure he wouldn't say this publicly, but we all know that David Ross was the man that worked with John Lester behind the plate. David Ross is now a big TV star and a Dancing with the Stars star. Now it's Contreras who works with Lester. Two and two. Swing and a miss. That takes care of Freddie Freeman. No first inning troubles tonight for John Lester, and we head to the second inning, no score.
score. Talking to Joe Madden earlier today, he said, Paul, we've had the last couple seasons, we played late in the year, we've been in a little bit of a fog at times. He said we've been hit hot, cold. He said, but the Jose Quintana deal really changed us. He said it gave us energy. It wasn't just that we swept the Orioles. There was a point in the game where the umpire didn't give him a couple pitches, and he just had nodded and looked in and said, where do you need him? And so the next thing you know, he says, that is exactly what our team needed to see. Good leadership. It's given us a shot in the arm. And he says, I don't know what the future holds, but my team is totally different, playing with a lot of energy, and we're excited. Guys, back to you.
That's what you hear a lot of teams doing, talking about, Paul, and trying to revitalize their team, especially some that may be right on the cusp of a playoff spot right now, but even one player can make a huge difference, and Joe Madden's obviously happy to have Quintana.
And they'll get John Lackey back from the DL. He pitches tomorrow night against Sean Newcomb, as Tehran goes to work against Kyle Schwarber, leading off inning number 2. Cubs starters have been underwhelming. They're collectively 2 games under 500 with a mid-4 ERA. Quintana is going to dramatically help that in the second half. Schwarber slices one down the left field line. That ball is fouled. And he'll head back to the plate with an even count. Schwarber was the hero for the Cubs in the World Series last year. Had there not been a DH, and by that I mean if the American League had not had home field advantage, I'm not sure the Cubs win the World Series. He was unable to play in the field because he was coming back from the knee surgery that he suffered in the early weeks of last season. But Schwarber as a DH was a one-man wrecking crew against the Indians in postseason play. And their plan was to put him in the lineup, bat him first. Well, Schwarber staggered out of the gate offensively and had to be sent back to AAA. He's back now with 14 homers and 30 RBIs. And he just took high. Ball 2.
And he's hit in 5 straight, so maybe he's beginning to find the zone himself.
I don't know if it's an area of concern or not, but you look at his line, Joe, 82 strikeouts, 244 at bats.
Wow. That guy's striking out a lot too, but he's just a rookie. Schwarber, a rookie last year. Both former first-round picks by the Cubs.
Bouncing ball into the shift. Phillips charges, falling down, makes the play at first base.
That's a pretty accurate throw for falling down. Digging up a little turf over there while he was at it. Foot gave way on him. Yeah, but Schwarber's troubles at the beginning of the year contributed to what is the worst average by any team's leadoff spot in the order. Can you say Dexter Fowler?
Yeah, they miss him, I'll bet. So this is Ian Happ, number 1 pick by the Cubs 2 years ago out of the University of Cincinnati. He's 22 years old.
Well, he's come on the scene for the Cubs with a bang, that's for sure. 13 homers.
One pitch. Just missed. Julio thought that was good enough. C.B. Bucknor said it was outside.
Glad I got my rest.
Things might get interesting should we have some close calls on the base paths tonight. You had a media alert sent your way just a few minutes ago, something to do with some replay issues at the ballpark.
Quote from the replay, MLB replay. Read it to you after this pitch. There's the crew with Mark Carlson, the crew chief.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. That ball was biting in on the hands of Happ. There's Julio's first strikeout.
Due to a pregame technical issue with the replay system, each club will be afforded its normal manager challenge, but will have unlimited crew chief reviews for the remainder of the game.
So that's the crew chief. And that's Jason Hayward stepping in. A nice ovation from Braves country for the Cubs right fielder. Better offensive numbers, I think, if you look at Hayward's line this year as opposed to last year. He's hitting .265, and it was said, Joe, in the offseason he went to work almost the day after the Cubs won the World Series and started to retool his swing.
John Malley, their hitting coach, worked with him to alter a lot of things. You're used to seeing Jason with his hands held pretty high, at least shoulder high, but now you see him starting much lower.
Last year, Jason hit .230 in his first season with the Cubs. 7 homers, 49 driven in. So, marked improvement. 1 ball, 1 strike. And he rolls over. Freddie Freeman, his best buddy, makes the play. Tehran steps on the bag. And the Cubs are out in order in the 2nd inning. Kemp, Flowers, Markakis try to get something done against John Lester. Park with another packed house on hand for the Braves and the Chicago Cubs. Time for tonight's SunTrust Confidence Play. The Braves through 90 games are swinging hot bats again.
Yeah, it's no comparison really, and this offense has contributed mightily to their record of 45 and 45 at this point. I would say more so than any other facet of the game, and it's been a consistent offense. They've had their share of being shut out, but they have night in and night out put up good numbers.
Kevin Seitz are really happy with the way the Braves are swinging the bats right now. As you know, Braves don't strike out a lot. They put the ball in play, put a lot of pressure on opposing pitchers. Let's see if that happens here with Matt Kemp, the Braves cleanup hitter, leading off. Matt at .294 for the year, and Lester missed upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Matt Kemp hit a 3rd inning homer yesterday, his first homer since mid-June. Another Brave that probably enjoyed the All-Star break. Give those legs a chance to recover.
You bet. One thing I noticed on that home run swing, and it may have been a coincidence, but it seemed like Matt got his foot down a little quicker, his front foot, and was in a better position to get after that pitch.
One ball, two strikes. Too close to take, so Matt fought it off and earns another pitch. Chased that one though, and Lester struck him out. Back-to-back strikeouts for the Cubs lefty. Freeman ended the first. Kemps starts the second, and here's Tyler Flowers.
Well, that's 112 strikeouts for Lester in 108 in the third inning, so he's still got that working for him. You mentioned the catching change for him, and you know, pitchers go through that all the time. I remember somewhat of a revolving door, maybe a little exaggerated, for Greg Maddux. And he was Charlie O'Brien or Eddie Perez or whoever the backup catcher might be at the time. His were changing a lot too.
One 1-0 for the Braves catcher. Lester's filling up the strike zone tonight. It'd be a very slim chance that Lester was going to have a 10-run first inning in back-to-back starts. He set down the first four in order. And at shortstop, Baez with a backhand play and the throw in time. Two outs for Nick Markakis. Need to get Nick going at the plate. He was 1 for 12 against the Diamondbacks.
You mentioned their defensive issues, and they have made a lot of errors. Baez 8, and he's played all over the infield for these guys. Chris Bryant's made 10. Addison Russell's made 9. But I was shocked to see the guy who's made the most errors on their team, Wilson Contreras, 13. The catcher.
I wonder if he falls in love with that arm and it costs him on the base paths.
Could be, because it's a good one.
Well, you know, Nick Markakis is up for this challenge. Of all the Braves hitters, he's seen Lester the most, and that dates back to when John pitched for the Red Sox and Nick played for Baltimore. Markakis 19 career hits in 83 at bats. No swing. 2 balls and a strike. In the air to center. That'll get down for a base hit. So Markakis now 15 hits away from 2,000. A 2-out single sends Lester to the stretch for the first time, and we'll see if the Braves try to create some 2-out havoc on the base paths.
Cutter trying to rake it across the front of the plate. You can see it's got to spin a lot like a slider, only it holds its plane. It doesn't dip down in any tilt. Nick stayed right on it.
So the first at bat of the season for Sean Rodriguez. And he takes a little low. Were you surprised, as I was, when we looked at Sean's rehab batting numbers?
Yeah, they weren't real good, but according to Kevin Seitzer, the swings were there. Results weren't.
One ball, no strikes. With Rodriguez activated today and Danny Santana brought back from the disabled list, Jason Hirsch and Jace Peterson were optioned back to Gwinnett before tonight's action. Danny had a 5-for-5 game at AAA the other day. One ball, one strike.
I asked several days ago when I found out about Sean going out on a rehab, if the Braves were concerned about like a one-handed check swing because it is his left shoulder, his non-throwing shoulder. And Jeff Porter told me no, it's more diving for balls and threat of a subluxation of the shoulder on a dive.
So all of a sudden Lester in the stretch for the first time, not as crisp with Rodriguez up there. 3-1 the count.
I touched on this briefly at the beginning of the game about Lester and his throwing yips to the bases, and they are there. He does not like to hold runners. Teams do try to take advantage of that.
Three balls and a strike. So now Marquez has the luxury of a jump from first with a full count. Braves are making him work. A lot of deep counts for Lester. His 32nd pitch. Runner goes, swing and a miss. That retires the side. The Braves get a hit, nothing else. Scoreless game after 2.
Rodriguez's wife, Giselle, welcome to the park. We are so happy to have you. Now, your husband struck out right there, which you know, but he's not even supposed to be back on the field till next year. Tell us about your husband, his work ethic and heart.
Sean is such a hard worker. He came to the fields every day he would get here around 11 and not leave till about 6 every day. We laugh because his bad shoulder is actually more toned and defined than his throwing arm, and it's like all muscular because he's been working at it so hard every day. He just loves to play baseball, and even after the accident, he told me, I'm coming back after All-Star, and I kind of would roll my eyes, and I'd be like, yeah, okay. But it shows you, Sean has always worked hard, and nobody can take that from him.
Well, I'm glad you're very proud of him. He's also very proud of you and the work you put in. You seem to sustain most of the injury to the leg, coming back, going through physical therapy. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm not as good as Sean because Sean clearly is getting paid to get better. And so therapy for him has been a little bit easier. I'm kind of like 1 hour a day, maybe 3 times a week type of thing. So, but I'm walking, and I don't have a walker anymore, and I don't have like a wheelchair, so I'm just so thankful.
Well, let me say for all of Atlanta, we've all been pulling for you. Your family is a great story. A lot of prayers been going out. Thank you for coming back and being a part of this. Great stuff.
Thank you so much for your prayers. We definitely appreciate everybody that's prayed for us and everybody that sent us flowers, and we're so grateful.
Great stuff. Chip and Joe, back to you guys.
Okay, Paul, thank you very much. It is amazing. That accident took place on January 28th. And Sean Rodriguez is playing Major League Baseball, and his wife and children are here to watch him make his comeback too.
What a blessing for the whole family. Could have been such a different story, I'll say.
So Javier Baez leads off for the Cubs in the 3rd inning. Lester to follow, then Zobrist. Julio Teheran is sent down. 6 of the first 7. Cubs, each team with a single tonight. And up and in on an 0-2 count. For the Cubs, 24-year-old shortstop.
And another first-round pick.
Chased a high fastball, and Julio struck him out. 2 away. Excuse me, 2 strikeouts for the Braves right-hander. And Lester's coming up.
Got he and Happ on high fastballs.
John Lester has 3 hits this year. And that is news. Didn't he have some crazy long streak without a hit?
Yes. Like a lifetime.
He just unloaded on the first pitch and waxed that one off the right field fence. Lester around first is on his way to second. He's got a sliding double with 1 out.
That's what we get.
Yep.
Second double of the year, though, out of 4 hits. Boy, was he on time on that fastball. Cubs hitters see that and they go, wow, Lester just hit a line drive off the right field wall and he can't hit.
Well, he's the first man in scoring position tonight. Ben Zobrist is the hitter. He bounced out to second to lead off the game. Cubs have a nice rotation up the middle. Zobrist, Baez, Addison Russell. Russell gets the night off tonight. Zobrist in the lineup and leading off at second base. And that missed outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Zobrist was a big part of the Cubs World Championship. Had 10 hits in the World Series, drove in a couple of runs. 10 hits, 5 runs scored against the Indians.
I thought he was as important offensively as anybody in their lineup in the World Series. Another 3-0 count.
Don't want to have too many of those with Bryant, Rizzo, and Contreras lurking. And in for a strike. Mentioned John Lester lives in the state of Georgia. Zobrist from Braves country too. He lives in Franklin, Tennessee in the offseason, so I'll bet he's got a big pass list.
Braves tried like crazy to recruit him to Atlanta for last season.
Got a 4-year deal though to sign with the Cubs, and his timing was perfect. Ground ball to second. That'll get Lester to third, but that's the second out. So Zobrist has played pepper with Brandon Phillips and is 0 for 2. Now Bryant is coming up. Don't want to face Rizzo in this inning, so you better get after Chris Bryant. Who surprisingly is hitting .222 this year with runners in scoring position. And it's going to drop a little lower, a little pop. Phillips drifts out. Markakis is there, calls him off, and Julio pitches around the double to the pitcher, John Lester. Julio's coming up second in the Braves' third, still no score. 38 pitches through 3 innings of work. He's coming up second against John Lester of the Cubs, who, quite frankly, have been rather underwhelming from the mound this year for Joe Maddon.
Well, that's been, if you want to put your finger on one thing for the Cubs and their record and slow start, it is their pitching. You can see their ERA much higher than it was this time last year. And look at the quality starts. 20 fewer quality starts than at the same time a year ago. There is what it's all about for the Cubs.
Well, they're hoping lightning strikes twice with John Lester. Last year went 10-0 right after the All-Star break.
Wow.
For Chicago. That man, Mr. Quintana, for whom the Cubs paid a king's ransom to their crosstown rivals, the White Sox, to add a veteran, controllable left-handed pitcher to their rotation. Certainly helped. He pitched great in his Cubs debut against the Orioles. But I wonder, Joe, if they need more than Quintana and Lester.
Well, let's stay with him for just a second. He is very controllable for the next 3 to 4 years. Lackey and Arrieta are both going to be free agents at the end of the year. So they gave up a king's ransom for that guy, not just to try to help get them back in the race this year, but going forward, they've already got a guy to plug in if one of those 2 other guys, Arrieta or Lackey, walk.
Yeah, the Cubs gave up Eloy Jimenez, their #1 prospect, and they traded Dylan Cease, who's out of Milton, Georgia, a kid that throws 100+ miles an hour. He was their 4th rated prospect, according to Baseball America, and 2 other minor leaguers as well. That's the price of starting pitching, and that's why the Braves are grooming so many young pitchers throughout this system. The Cubs have gone about it in a very different way. They drafted high school and college hitters and have stockpiled their system with bats. It'll be very interesting to see the sustainability of the Cubs plan and the success and sustainability of the Braves plan when those young pitchers get to the big leagues. 3 balls and a strike for Johan Camargo. Now a full count. And I wonder too, if the deadline approaching here in 2 weeks, it seems like on paper the Cubs and Braves might be a natural match to try to make a deal. Sharply hit, but Baez scoops it up. Easy play, 1 out. Maybe not an easy play, but he sure made it look easy.
Well, that's his natural position. He had to move with the addition of Addison Russell. He had to learn to play second and third more often than maybe he would like, but he's a natural shortstop.
So Julio Teheran's coming up. He'll try to avenge the John Lester double a moment ago. And way outside, ball 1. That's popped out of play right side.
We've got a packed house, don't we? Huge Monday night crowd. And more of the same expected tomorrow night and Wednesday afternoon.
And the Braves drew as Julio lines into center. Does that make him like 3 for his last 4 going back to the Nationals game?
Let's see. He had 2 hits his first 2 times up and then a bunt. So yeah, he is 3 for his last 3. That average continues to climb, Chip, and he's just trying to find a spot out there somewhere to be a utility guy.
He's tired of being a bunter. So the hits by the pitchers are even. Both came with 1 out. Now the top of the Atlanta order will try to move him along. Ender Inciarte, batting .365 against left-handed pitching this year and sitting on 119 hits. But still looking for that elusive first knock against John Lester. I find it interesting watching how Anthony Rizzo holds runners at first base for the Cubs. He doesn't have his foot on the bag. He doesn't play behind the bag, but stands in front, almost setting a screen between the base runner and the catcher.
We'll see if he does that same positioning for the other pitchers aside from Lester, since Lester doesn't throw over there.
That's poked towards second, might be two. They're going to have to hurry. Ender beats the wrap and the throw, sails into the Atlanta dugout and almost picked a couple of guys off on the way by, including head athletic trainer Jeff Porter. Braves are looking in the dugout. That might have gotten somebody as Baez airmailed the throw.
Oh no, not the computer.
Oh no.
We'll have to stop the game. Well, he caught this flat-footed and tried to throw from that position. that wasn't even close. This came out a little sideways.
Incoming.
Grab the computer.
Oh no. Oh, luckily the top of the bench is padded.
I don't know. They're going to play on.
Well, that could be a big play in this game. Fielder's choice, throwing error, runner at second, and Brandon Phillips up. A hit could put the Braves in front here in the third inning. Again, the Cubs defense opens the door for the Braves. And again, what a luxury it must be, Joe, for a base runner, knowing Lester's dislike of throwing to the bases. You can see the size of the lead that Inciarte is getting, even with Zobrist pretty close to the bag.
Right. He knows he's not going to throw, and if he does, it's probably going to be a lob.
Now time called. It's a big sequence in this game. Remember, Lester gave up 10 runs in his last outing. Only six of those runs were unearned. Ender's going to try to steal third. Contreras' throw beat him, but Ender got to the backside of the bag. The luxury of Lester not holding runners well pays off. It's a stolen base.
Might as well. Again, the most errors committed by any Cubs player is the catcher. Strong throw to the foul territory side of the bag, and that caused Bryant to have to then reach back, and by that time it was too late.
So the Cubs are going to take a look. Advantage for Atlanta as the call was safe, and they're showing that great close-up view at third base. It looked pretty clear that Ender beat the wrap before Bryant applied the tag.
Yeah, the foot got in there. Here it is. Throw to the foul territory side. Foot tag. That should be easy. You don't ever want to make the first or third out at third base, but when you can get that kind of lead and you feel confident in stealing third base, why not with Lester?
He's safe. So the call's confirmed. Now Phillips will face an 0-1 count.
There's more of what we're talking about. Cannot hold runners.
35 years ago, that would have been a deadly stat for a starting pitcher. Not so much anymore. Teams don't steal an awful lot. 0-1 count. Phillips with a blooper, and the Braves jump in front.
That's the guy you wanted up there, wasn't it?
Yep.
The hottest hitter. Helps the Braves capitalize on a throwing error and a stolen base. Cutter. Brandon was ready for it. 6 for 16 in his career against John Lester. But you got to get your hands inside the baseball, even though he didn't hit it hard. Got to get it inside on that cutter.
Did you see Phillips clap his hands? That was a great sequence for the Braves, who lead 1-0 with Freddie Freeman up there, and that's launched out of play, foul. A throwing error put NCRT in scoring position. A stolen base got him to third, and Phillips with a 2-out hit makes it 1-0. And line out of play, 0-2.
Showed you those splits at the beginning of the game for Lester. 15 home runs allowed, but only 1 to a left-handed hitter.
Last year, the Braves and Cubs played 6 times. They split those 6 games, 3 wins apiece. One-two pitch is pulled to the right side. Zobrist scoops and flips to first. The Cubs defense lets Lester down in the 3rd inning, and Brandon Phillips takes advantage. An RBI single makes it 1-0 heading to the 4th. #1 mobile app for live Braves baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Braves home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. Atlanta strikes first. An RBI hit from Brandon Phillips. John Lester turns things over to his offense. Rizzo, Contreras, and Schwarber coming up. Julio in good shape. 38 pitches over his first 3 innings. He scattered just 2 hits. As Joe said, he's well rested, he's well motivated, and he's due for a big second half here at home.
Hopefully through this part of the order he can get ahead and count.
Sharply hit. Rodriguez, his first chance. Nice play. Rizzo tried to hit it the other way, but Sean was positioned perfectly.
Nicely done. Right in on the cut of the grass, too. Good set of hands right there. I know he's happy to get that first play out of the way, tough as it was.
So here's Contreras. He flied out to left to end the first inning. Contreras just turned 25 years old back in May. He's out of Venezuela. '76 games last year, 12 homers, 35 knocked in. And he too played everywhere. 57 games behind the plate, 24 games in left field, even 3 games at first base.
Didn't realize that. Great versatility.
Little chopper. Rodriguez challenged. It rolls up his arm, and Contreras will reach with 1 out.
Well, he got the tough one out of the way and then got the easy one out of the way. Off the thumb.
Well, let's see if Schwarber will oblige and hit to a double play. He's done that 3 times. Runner goes, swing and a miss. The throw is going to be late, and Contreras steals his 3rd base.
Big jump. Good time to go as the catchers on that first pitch. And a ball in the dirt. Tough on Tyler to get rid of it.
So a hit might mean a run for Chicago. Contreras in scoring position, and Schwarber with a 5-game hitting streak gave up a strike to get his man to second base. And upstairs.
Everybody's trying to find high marks, points for the Cubs to try to figure out what they've got to do to get back in it, maybe get back to the postseason. And there's really one area you can look at, and that's what they've done in the second half under Joe Madden. The last 2 years, 50 wins against 23 and 25 losses respectively the last 2 years. Great second halves.
And they're off to a pretty good start, I would say.
Yeah.
They just bombarded Baltimore. Cubs fans always travel. They're here in force tonight. They trail by a run, 2 balls and a strike. Good off-speed pitch. Schwarber way out in front. 2-2.
That's that rare curveball from Julio that's so effective. Maybe because he doesn't throw it much. Sure is a good pitch.
Popped him up. Kemp, long run, still coming. He's got it for the second out.
Another good fastball velocity wise from Julio. 94 on that one. Schwarber was late. And he missed his mark too. They wanted that in to tie him up, and that really had the center of the plate. So they were fortunate.
What surprises me too about the Cubs, Joe, hitting .239 as a team with runners in scoring position this year. That's as big a problem, I'm sure.
Sure.
They're 0 for 3 so far tonight. Ian Happ struck out his first time.
This guy's now struck out 63 times in 55 games.
Late on that fastball, one of Julio's best tonight, 94 miles an hour and moving. 2-1 the count.
Last year at Myrtle Beach and in Double-A combined, he hit 15 homers. He's hit 13 in the big leagues in 54 games.
Jason Hayward is next. Three balls and a strike. And fouled back. And out of play. So Julio's a strike away from protecting his one-run lead.
And that was a good pitch. 3-1 count through a changeup. It was up a little bit, but threw his timing off. Nice to see Julio use something other than a fastball or slider there.
Let's see what he cooks up here now.
Best fastball of the night.
And fouled straight back. Still 3-2. Contreras at second, reached on an error, stole second base. Schwarber popped up for the second out. Now Happ facing a 3-2 pitch.
Got him to chase a fastball upstairs his first time up.
Struck him out over the outside corner, and Happ can't believe it. Third strikeout for Tehran, who holds that 1-0 lead. Home fourth coming up. 3 strikeouts through 4 scoreless innings. He scattered a couple of Cubs hits. And in the home 4th inning, Matt Kemp, Tyler Flowers, and Nick Markakis will try to add to a 1-0 lead. Time for our Zaxby's indescribably good play. The Braves don't see a lot of left-handers, Joe, but apparently when they do, it doesn't bother them.
No, they do a really good job because a couple of their everyday guys, in fact 3 of their everyday guys are left-handed, and they all hit left-handed pitching well. Markakis, Inciarte, and Freeman. Doesn't bother them. Braves are 7-4 against left-handed starters. That's the fewest left-handed starters of any team that any team has faced.
They'll see 2 of them in this series with the Cubs, including Mike Montgomery on Wednesday afternoon. And you know we're going to see a bunch of them when we get to LA.
Yeah, I've heard.
We don't know in what order. Well, we know they're lurking on the schedule with Alex Wood, Kershaw, Ryu,
Rich Hill.
So take your pick. Lester misfires, and Kemp ahead in the count. 2 balls and a strike. That's scorched over third and into the seats. Where a fan from Atlanta obviously made that grab.
Well, everybody's smiling. That's a good thing, no matter who got it.
Lester tried a slow breaking ball, didn't get the call. And now Kemp faces a 3-2 count.
He doesn't throw his curveball very often either, so it's very effective when he breaks it out. And he was staring in at C.B. Buckner, much like Happ was after he got rung up.
Fly ball well hit toward Schwarber in left. He backs up, makes the play. Schwarber's not going to win any Gold Gloves out there, and I'm guessing the closest comparison would be Ryan Klesko.
He was very deep for Kemp too, otherwise that might have gotten over his head. Well, Schwarber was talking about before the season, saying, and went to spring training saying he wanted to catch more. He's ready to catch more. That's his natural position.
He's coming back from the ACL knee surgery and handles his first chance without difficulty here in the 4th inning. Tyler Flowers the batter. Nice frame job by Tyler to earn Julio Teheran's Happ strikeout to end the 4th.
Well, he's got the right umpire. If you can do a good job of framing tonight, you're going to steal some strikes.
And according to StatCast, Tyler Flowers gets a called strike on 8.9% of all pitches out of the zone. That's the most among any other major league catcher. Grounded foul past third. Now it's 2-2. John Lester pitched great against the Braves last year. 1 earned run in 14 innings with 17 strikeouts. Braves have an unearned run. Was it earned? Beg your pardon, it is an earned run.
Yeah, I don't know how they scored that an earned run, but that's what came across.
So they've already equaled last year's total in just 3 innings of work against Mr. Lester, who's got another deep count. 3-2.
All quality starts.
And Tyler Flowers coaxes a 1-out walk.
Lester took a walk off the back of the mound before he got the ball back. I don't know if he's complaining about that call.
So let's see what Liberty's Tyler Flowers tries to take from first base. Nick Markakis picked up the first Atlanta hit. And out of play, strike one. John Lester has 151 big league wins. Career ERA 3.44. Remember, most of his career spent in the American League with the DH. That's very impressive work. And a slow roller hit up the middle, right to the shortstop, who steps on the bag and fires to first. And Markakis doubled up. That ends the Atlanta fourth. Bottom part of the Cubs order coming up. 1-0 Atlanta the lead. Time for the fifth inning, brought to you by Audi. The Braves lead 1-0. Jason Hayward set to lead things off. And for more on the homecoming of the former Brave, let's check in with Paul Bird.
You got it, guys. Talking to Joe Maddon before the game, he said he really worked on his swing, and he said we had to slow things down. There was a lot going on. His hands were high, as you heard Joe talk about. So they moved his hands down. That was the first step. And they said second, he had a really long swing. So he said, Paul, think of it as a gate opening. He said, if we put a hinge in the middle of that gate, that's his elbow. We wanted him to take his hands to the ball, have more bend in his elbow. So far, they like the results. He's working very, very hard. I'm a pitcher, so Joe, I'll let you explain what I was talking about.
Well, one of the descriptions of that, Paul, to me is just trying to stay inside the baseball, not get extended, not let his hands cast out away from his body, which he was prone to do and rolled over so many ground balls to the right side with weak 2 or 3 hoppers to the second baseman, first baseman. So trying to keep his hands in a little closer, keep that elbow tucked a little more. To me, that all those things are secondary to his top hand. His top hand is the culprit to me and always has been in his swing, because it starts in one position and then as a pitch is coming to him, he wraps his top hand. And
gotcha. Another thing Joe was able to say is he was a very good listener. And he was willing to make a change, and I think that's probably part of the process too. Would you agree?
Yes, I think that that's kind of a hallmark of Jason Hayward, is that he wants to get better. But I don't even know if he knows when he does it with his hand, with his top hand, how he wraps it as the pitch is coming. And that puts a little arc in the swing, a little hump in the swing as it's going through the zone.
Well, he rolled over the first time up, bounced to Freddie Freeman with Tehran covering the bag. He's got a 1-1 count here in the Cubs' fifth. And he was tardy there. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Even from this center field camera, if you just watch his top hand, you see his glove, his batting glove, and then all of a sudden you can see some white on the glove because the way his hand twists on the bat. You can't see any white on the glove right now on that top hand. Now you can. There's like a little stripe, I think, on that. Yeah, a little stripe there, that Nike swoosh. If he could just keep that top hand positioned where it is when he starts, he'd have a lot more success, in my opinion, than wrapping it.
Julio tried the inside corner, didn't get it. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Baez and Lester to follow. Jason Hayward leading off for Chicago. Broken bat. Hit a long way foul. Hayward sawed right off. The barrel ends up behind the Braves on deck circle. Well, make no mistake about it, the Cubs are banking on Jason Hayward rediscovering his form that made him one of the impact players in the Braves franchise. Hayward signed an 8-year contract after the 2015 season, a season that saw him hit .293 with the Cardinals. And Hayward draws a leadoff walk. First walk for Tehran. Those bases on balls at times have really plagued him here at home.
Take a look at this from a side angle. Watch the top hand. And even on a pitch that he took for a pitch, see how that hand twists around the bat, and he's got it turned almost like he's going to throw a punch instead of having it lined up like he starts.
Great catch. Baez struck out his first time up. So that makes you wonder, how in the world can you fix that, or even if it can be fixed?
I don't know. I'm not even sure he's aware that he does it when he's at the plate. But he's done it as long as I've watched him play at this level.
He's got a good lead. And Baez swinging for the fences, didn't get it. Strike one.
Supremely talented, great athlete. It's amazing that he puts up the numbers he does with that.
0-1. And lined into center field, a base hit by Baez, and now the Cubs are in business with 2 on, nobody out. Boy, walks to the bottom of the order really cause you some problems, and Julio walked Hayward to start it. Baez strokes single. Now Lester will try to bunt, at least we think.
And he does have 3 sacrifices. See, Hayward there had to freeze to make sure that ball got through. Braves infielders talking it over here. See if they put on a play or put a lot of pressure on Lester.
Lester doubled his first time up. 2 on, nobody out for him here. He does try to bunt. The ball to the backstop, and everybody's going to move up 90 feet.
I'll take the mystery out of it.
A wild pitch.
It's a wonder it didn't hit Lester.
And there's that hard ricochet off the bricks. Flowers came up ready to fire, but really had no option.
That was a smart play to just eat the baseball there and not try to force it.
So they're at second and third with nobody out. 1 ball, no strikes for Lester. And a cue shot to the left side, a strike.
Well, he put a good swing on the one for the double his first time up. And infield's back. If he can put it in play, get another run in, or get a run in and tie it up. Middle of the infield back.
The 1-1 pitch. Lester fouled that away.
That was going to be a safety squeeze. Meaning Jason Hayward was waiting to see if the ball was down. It wasn't a suicide. It was a safety squeeze. And if he got it down, then he was going to come. Gary Jones, third base coach.
Breaking ball struck him out. Lester can't believe it. He's arguing again with C.B. Buckner, both at the plate and from the mound. That's not going to earn him any favors. There's the first out of the inning. But his job done. He saw the wild pitch sail by and 2 runners in scoring position.
Breaking ball. Too close to take for sure.
Zobrist, the batter, he's grounded out to second twice. And taken low, ball 1. This guy's a very fidgety hitter. He is in constant motion when he takes his stance. Look at his hands. Ground ball up the middle. Phillips can't knock it down, and the Cubs are going to take the lead. So the leadoff walk and the wild pitch comes home to roost. 2-1. Cubs have the lead in the 5th.
There's the production out of the leadoff spot. Fastball away, and even with the infield back, middle infielders back, he still snuck it through. Just out of the reach of Julio and Brandon.
So Chicago gets a big hit with runners in scoring position. Their first of the night. They're now 1 for 6, but they lead 2-1. Zobrist now 28 runs batted in. That brings up Chris Bryant, who's popped out to right twice. How about the numbers for Chris Bryant this year? Mentioned the low RBI totals despite hitting 19 homers. He's walked 60 times. Far and away the Cubs club leader in bases on balls.
That's got to be among the league leaders, doesn't it?
Rizzo's got 54. getting on base for the Chicago club. And among National League players, yeah, he's tied for third with Bryce Harper. Matt Carpenter of the Cardinals has 63. Joey Votto, no surprise for the Reds, with 66. So Bryant, a .402 on base percentage. Just what you want with Rizzo and company batting behind you.
He walked 75 times last year, Chip, and led the league in runs scored. 121. His on base percentage was .385.
So higher on base this year. He's on pace for 115, 120 runs if the Cubs get hot in the second half. But behind the count here, 1-2 pitch.
People talked about Freddie Freeman moving to third base, that he was too big to play third. Chris Bryant, 6'5", 230. Just about like Freddie.
Zobrist at first. Now the 2-2 pitch is rolled back to the mound. Julio's got it. Second one. First, close and late. Julio got the force out, but now he's got to face Rizzo with 2 outs and a man aboard.
Had to take one extra step there to get a good grip on the baseball. Looked like get his footing right and get a better grip on the baseball, and maybe that was the difference.
Circle that play. Hopefully it won't cost the Braves any more runs. You've got Rizzo up there now. He's singled, and Rodriguez took care of him on a bouncing ball to third last time up. Runner goes. Pitch is high. The throw to second is on target, but late. You mentioned Bryant likes to run. That's his 7th steal. And the second Cubs stolen base of the game.
Good crossover step. They know Julio's got a great move. What they're doing is running on Tyler Flowers. Tyler has thrown out 6 of 45, 6 of 46 so far on the year, and a lot of those came early in the year. A lot of caught stealings, that is.
So the shift on for Rizzo, another runner in scoring position. And a belt high fastball, a strike.
One of the things that you don't usually see is a stolen base in that situation with 2 out. You got your third 3-hole hitter up there, left-handed hitter, want to take advantage of the hole on the right side, but with the shift on, there's not that much of a hole. Joe Madden chose to steal anyway and force the Braves either to pitch to Rizzo and risk driving in a run or walk him, and then he'll take his chances with Contreras,
who's one of their hottest hitters, coming off a 4-hit game in Baltimore.
Pretty good pitch there. Julio's turn. And it was a strike.
So instead of a 2-2 count, it's 3-1. Long inning for Tehran. And Braves do walk Rizzo, and here comes Contreras. And here comes Chuck Hernandez. All this trouble started with a leadoff walk.
This is just a breather here, if nothing else. The stolen base, though, forces the issue. It created a situation where Julio had to pitch to Rizzo a little differently, gave him the luxury, let's say, of saying, okay, well, at least I've got a base open. I don't have to throw him a strike. Well, okay. So he pitched him accordingly. Granted, he didn't get a call from Buckner that he should have. But he walks a guy, extends the inning, more pitches, and a hot hitter at the plate.
And it's not just a one-off series for Contreras. He's had an extended run of success for the Cubs. That's why he's hitting fourth. Look at what he's done over the last 25 games.
That's hot.
So Contreras has been cleaning up. Let's see if Julio can escape further problems in the fifth. 2-1, Cubs in front. Two, the Braves couldn't turn a double play on that comebacker to the mound. That's led to extra pitches too. 1-0 pitch. Nope. Ball 2. Schwarber lurking on deck. Back-to-back walks, 3 walks in the inning, and Chicago has them loaded.
Schwarber got an excellent pitch to hit his last time up and fouled, or excuse me, popped it up. Bullpen getting busy. Be careful on the first pitch here.
So no place to put Schwarber, who's grounded out and popped out. Excellent choice.
Excellent.
Nothing in 1 for the Cubs left fielder. Ooh, almost hit him. Phillies in front, a ball and 2 strikes.
That was a good pitch, location wise. Told you Schwarber got a good pitch to hit his last time up and missed it. That time he chased a fastball. It looked like it was a little out of the zone.
So what's your choice here?
Something off speed again, but off the plate.
So here we go, a ball and 2 strikes. Yanked to first. Freeman with a great play. And the Cubs are done in the 5th inning. Incredible grab by Freeman, saved at least 2 runs. Schwarber rolls out. Chicago settles for 2 and a 1-run lead. First base, the hot corner tonight for Freddie Freeman. Nice play. Friday, August 25th for Freddie Freeman Bobblehead Day, presented by Xfinity. The first 20,000 fans at the ballpark get the Freddie Freeman Bobblehead doll. Go to Braves.com/tickets and get your seats today. Good thing Freddie didn't bobble that shot off the bat of Kyle Schwarber. That was a missile. And he handled it cleanly to get Julio out of a 33-pitch 5th inning mess that saw the Cubs take a 2-1 lead.
Well, Julio got away with a fastball in on Schwarber that's like, if it's not in the perfect place, he's going to rip it, and he did.
So 7-8-9 for Atlanta. The inning starts with Sean Rodriguez. Let's see how Lester fares with a lead now. He struck Sean out back in the 2nd inning. Camargo, then Tehran to follow.
I think most players, veteran players, will tell you in spring training they need, I say, only 40 or 50 at bats, 50 plate appearances, and they're ready to go. Sean had 39 at bats. I don't know how many times he walked, but I know he had 39 at bats, so he was in that general vicinity.
Strike 3 inside corner. Lester gets the leadoff man in the Braves 5th inning. Rodriguez down on strikes for the 2nd time. And here's Camargo. 5 walks for Sean Rodriguez in those rehab games. Now Camargo digs in. He grounded out to shortstop his first time. Johan's done excellent work against left-handed pitching. He's 15 for 32 now against southpaws.
Wow. Everything's been good. for Johan.
13 hits in his last 24 at bats, including 5 doubles. And riding a current 4-game hit streak. But down 2 strikes to Lester, who fooled him again. Ball in the dirt. Contreras loves to show off that arm, and wouldn't you too? 2 up, 2 down for Tehran. So the Braves, I'm sure, were hoping to put together some sort of a rally against Lester and give Julio a bit of a rest. Again, a 33-pitch inning, high-stress inning in the 5th. He's the final hope to keep the inning alive, and even if he does, he's going to be on base, so not much of a rest if that happens. Talked a lot about the Cubs' issues with their starting staff. They have not had issues with their bullpen. It's been a very solid relief corps, we are told, for the Chicago team. Cubs bullpen, 3.33 ERA. Had to cover a lot of innings, but their relief corps has been a big-time positive. Strike 2.
Boy, he's used that curveball more than I'm used to seeing him, and it's been good for him, backdooring the right-handed hitters.
Julio puts it in play. Bryant at third, scoops and makes the toss across in plenty of time. Shutdown inning for John Lester. His club's given him a 1-run lead, and we head to the 6th.
Into the 6th inning, and welcome into our Braves Live set here in the Battery, Atlanta. I'm Kelsey Wingert with this Xfinity game break. So let's check out some of the other NL East action going on. The Phillies at the Marlins. Miami looking to snap a 3-game losing streak. Bottom of the 1st, no score. Giancarlo Stanton, who else, nails a monster 2-run shot to left for his 27th home run of the season. Miami up 2-0. Bottom 5. Stanton once again making that home run structure dance with his 2nd home run of the night. This time a shot to left center field. Justin Bour with a 2-run shot later in the inning to give Miami a 5-4 lead, but it's currently 5-5 in the bottom of the 9th. Let's get you back out to Chip and Joe.
Okay, Kelsey, thank you very much. We will see the Marlins a little bit later on in the summer months. In fact, the Marlins are coming here August 4th, 5th, and 6th, and there's a chance, Joe, by the time we see Miami, that's going to be a very different looking club. They may even have a new owner by then.
That would be different.
Yeah,
and good.
Apparently the Marlins front office is open for business. Just about everybody on that team perhaps is available for trade if the right deal comes along. They were hoping to come out of the gate in good fashion, but ran into the Dodgers. And now the Phillies are giving the Marlins a fight tonight. So Ian Happ goes to work for Chicago. Julio could use an easy inning. He's gotten Happ on strikes twice, once swinging, once looking. Line drive over shortstop. That's going to split the gap. Ender cuts it off quickly. Happ around first, headed for second. And he'll beat the wrap. I'll lead off double. It's another extra base hit for Happ. This guy got called up in mid-May. He's got 27 extra base hits, including 13 homers. And now he's in scoring position to start the inning.
It's obvious that two-seamer down and away. Took it that way. Good piece of hitting on his part. Oh, it was a changeup and drove it that way. Well done. It's obvious that when he makes contact, he's having some success. He's just got to cut down on his whiffs.
So 12 doubles for Mr. Happ. Jason Hayward will try to move him along. Jason started the third with a walk and scored the first run on Zobrist's single. Talked to Jason before the game. He's enjoying his time in Chicago. He's got his family here, as you'd expect, in Atlanta. In fact, his mom's celebrating her birthday on Thursday, so we wanted to make sure we said happy birthday to Laura Hayward tonight. An early birthday, that is. Pickoff play, and it's into center field, and Happ's going to move up to third base. Camargo couldn't keep it at the bag, and now Happ 90 feet away with nobody out.
I don't know what happened there unless Camargo slipped on the base. No. Just an errant throw off the bag, an unusually errant throw. And then Johan whiffed on it.
So the infield comes in for Hayward. And fouled away, strike two. Cubs are trying to make a move. They have hovered around the 500 mark pretty much all year long. They've never been 4 games above 500. They've never been 2 games or worse below 500 all year. They're 46 and 45 for the season. And they know they can pick up a game in the standings in the Central if they win tonight. The Pirates beat Milwaukee 4-2. Pittsburgh cools off a red-hot Milwaukee team that had won 11 of 14 games coming into tonight's action. And the Pirates can't count them out. They're about to get Starling Marte back from his suspension. So a big win for the Buccos in Central Division play. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Slider right in on his hands, trying to put it in play and get that run in. Jason, in his career with the Braves, always liked the ball away from him. He stood off the plate and then stepped into the plate, but liked to extend his arms so that he could hit the ball to left center. Still a long way from home plate, but he's got long arms. A little more of an open stance than I remember.
When he was a rookie, if I'm remembering correctly, he was a line-to-line hitter, though. He would take that ball away from him from time to time and whack it down the third base line. 1-2. Sharply hit. Phillips makes the play, looks the runner back, and Hayward, some bad luck there, rolls out. Happ still at third, 1 away.
play by Brandon. Pitch was up. Julio got away with it. Wanted it down and in, and it was up and out over the plate, and able to get his arms extended. That was a break.
Infield still in for Baez, who singled last time up. Well, if you can get him, then you've got the pitcher and you've got a chance to get out of it.
I was just going to say that this is pretty much the game right here for Julio. Prevent that guy from scoring, keep it a one-run game, give your offense a chance to get you the lead back.
Braves will have the top of the order coming up in the home sixth. Showed bunt. And Baez took it off the plate, even count.
I'm not saying that 2 runs is too much to overcome with Lester and the Braves offense, just that much tougher. And maybe Joe Madden was thinking the same thing, or at the very least Baez was, that a second or a third run here would be mighty big.
Back to the screen. Julio's ahead of Baez. A ball and 2 strikes now.
This guy likes to swing too. 72 strikeouts against only 14 walks. Ahead in the count, you don't have to throw him a strike.
Did he go? Yes, he did. He didn't throw him a strike, Joe, and Julio got Baez to strike out on a check swing.
Slider. Boy, Tyler got that blocked partially with the glove, but mostly with his right leg.
So Lester is coming up. He doubled in the 3rd inning. He struck out in the 5th. Cubs are 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position tonight, but lead 2-1. And Flowers with an amazing stop.
He's pitching Lester in so far that it cost him last time when he threw it to the backstop. Tyler saved him there.
Julio's had base runners all over the place in the 4th, the 5th, and now the 6th innings. Now it's Tyler Flowers' turn to ask where it was. That conversation continues.
Did you see Lester? Wow. He knew.
Now he's gone 3-0 to the pitcher.
Well, he's got a groove. 3 in a row.
I don't think that one missed pitch doesn't make a big difference. Instead of a 2-0 count, it would be 1-1. That pitch outside would have been 2 balls and a strike. He wouldn't then have to groove the 3 in a row, as you said. And John Lester just walked on 4 pitches. Civil discussion going on behind the plate. You can't walk the pitcher there.
No.
Because the man that beat you once before is the man that's up again.
2 starts ago at Oakland, he walked 4 in 6 1/3 innings, but actually came out of the ball game with the lead and had a chance to win until the bullpen gave up the lead. Four walks is his season high, and he's done it several times.
So Ian Kroll, who was up an inning ago in the Braves bullpen, is up again. As Zobrist has runners at first and third with 2 outs. Sarcastic cheer as Buckner calls a strike for Ben Zobrist. Even count.
Good pitch. Change up.
Zobrist late on a low 90s fastball. It's 1-2 now. Happ led off with a double. Took third on a throwing error. Hayward and Baez struck out. John Lester walked on 4 pitches. Now the 1-2 pitch to the Cubs leadoff man. Runner at first goes. It's high, and Lester steals a base.
He's having himself quite a night.
Well, let's hope he gets real tired running the bases. Well, it's a 2 RBI chance for Zobrist and a 2-2 count. Sharply hit. Freeman saves him again. Another great play at first. Freddie Freeman has saved 4 runs defensively in this game. Zobrist hits a rocket down the first base line, and Freeman scoops it up, ends the inning, and it's still 2-1 Cubs after 5½. at least 4 runs on a couple of hot shots down the first baseline tonight.
Yeah, maybe 5 with the bases loaded when he made that play into the corner. Could easily have been a 3-run extra base hit. What a night Freddie's having defensively.
And he's due up third in the Atlanta 6th. Inciarte and Phillips are coming up. The 1-2 punch for the Braves of late has been awfully good. That's our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot.
Yeah, top guys in the order. When they're getting on, what a delight for Freeman, Kemp, Markakis, Flowers, Adams, whoever's batting behind them. Another curveball.
Ender reached on a fielder's choice and scored the lone Braves run. Took second on a throwing error, and then Brandon Phillips brought him home after he stole third base. Time for that stat to change. Over but low. A walk would be nice.
Yeah, a couple of good takes there. Might see him take another one here, even take a strike, make him throw one. But he's hacking.
And Lester battles back to a full count. Braves in a 1-run game with the defending champs. And they've got 12 outs left.
Contreras went through everything he knew to call. He couldn't land on the right one. Fastball away.
And it's spoiled.
Got him to chase ball 4, and that's what Ender's upset with.
Somehow got a piece of that.
That's the cutter at 86 miles an hour. Asking C.B. Buckner if it was a strike.
Rolled toward first. Rizzo bobbles for a moment. Lester got to the bag just in time. And there's the first out of the inning.
With the numbers that we showed you about Lester and his splits, and the left-handers only hitting 200 coming into the game, 1 homer, 3 walks against 34 strikeouts against lefties. That's when the left-handers all kind of get in the center of the clubhouse and go, let's go right-handers.
Yeah, well, it's understandable. Tonight the Braves have 3 hits. One of them was by Julio Teheran, one by this man Brandon Phillips, the other Nick Markakis. The 3 hits, all singles for Atlanta. This one's hit toward Bryant at third. Lester's getting the ball on the ground. And has another impressive streak on the line in this game. They have 12 consecutive games with 2 or more 2-base hits. So got some work to do if that's going to continue tonight, as Lester in a nice groove. He has allowed 1 base runner since the start of the 4th inning, and that was Tyler Flowers' walk. I've got 11 outs for Lester on the ground in the game. That'll work in this park. As Freddie didn't get it, strike one.
It's an interesting defensive setup on the infield. Everybody's playing really deep. The two middle infielders are on the grass, and Bryant, as you see, is way off the line. He's in shift mode, but everybody else pretty much where they normally play, but deep.
Lifted toward left. Long run. Schwarber near the line, near the wall, and he makes the catch. Tumbles into the stands. Did he hang on? Yes, he did. Great catch by Schwarber to rob Freddie Freeman. His first game in SunTrust Park. That's one of the best catches we've seen by any outfielder here. And he hangs on for a 1-2-3 inning. Lead 2-1, however, as we are through 6 innings. Good to have my partner Joe Simpson back. Paul Bird, Kelsey Wingert. Here's truly Chip Carey as we take a look inside SunTrust Park with a live look in from our beautiful Xfinity cam.
Yeah, and thanks to Paul for filling in. Great job.
So the Atlanta fans here hoping for a Braves rally, hoping as well Ian Kroll can take over for Julio Teheran and pitch effective relief. He'll face Bryant, Rizzo, and Contreras in the Cubs' 7th.
One appearance in the Arizona series for Kroll. A third of an inning was all. Zeros across.
One thing I think we would all agree, the Braves bullpen has some work to do in July. It's not been an easy month for the Braves relief corps. They've got a 6.99 ERA with a lot of walks. That's been the biggest problem. 23 walks in 37 innings. As Bryant hit one off the end of the bat straightaway center. And there's the first out. Contrast that with the month of June. The Braves relief corps pitched 90 innings and walked 35 men. So they are far ahead of that pace.
What a difference.
And certainly they miss Arodys Vizcaíno, who pitched in a minor league rehab game. He could be activated for Atlanta if all goes well as early as Wednesday. So he would be a welcome addition in late inning relief for the Braves. And Kroll tonight got his first man. Here's Rizzo. A single, a ground out, and a walk. For the largest part-time leadoff man in Chicago Cubs history. He did a good job, though. when Schwarber's problems crept up. Rizzo batted first 13 times, hit 5 homers, 12 RBIs, and scored 11 runs. This one's hammered to center. Ender's got a long run, and he's not going to get it. It's over the center field fence, a line drive home run. Rizzo has homered in 3 straight games for the Cubs, and they take a 3-1 lead. The lefty-lefty matchup worked to Rizzo's favor.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to go that way. Fastball, center cut. Foot down. Boy, is he strong in his lower half. And just enough.
So John Lester has a 2-run lead now. That's the 5th home run allowed by the Braves bullpen this month. And the Cubs lead 3-1 with Contreras up there. He's 0 for 2 with a walk.
I think the Cubs would have used Dave Kingman in the leadoff spot.
Well, if the College of Coaches was in charge, probably so. But now it's hammered down the left field line.
Boy, explain that one to the folks who don't know what you're talking about. That was pretty different.
Yeah, years ago the Cubs couldn't decide on who was going to manage their team, so they had their coaching staff rotate managerial duties, and they would run the team in that fashion as Contreras takes strike 3. So for example, looking at it from the Braves perspective, you'd have Brian Snitker manage the team for a week, then he would hand the lineup card to Terry Pendleton and he would run the team for a week, set the lineups, arrange the pitching matchups, then he'd hand the lineup card over to Eddie Perez, and all on down the line until it cycled back to whoever had the lineup card first. They called it in Chicago the College of Coaches. Needless to say, it wasn't a particularly successful endeavor. And Schwarber takes a strike. He's 0 for 3 tonight, but just made a great catch up against the railing in left field to end Freddie Freeman's 6th inning at bat. You know, next time we go to Chicago, we're going to be able to see something that neither one of us has ever seen before.
Is that right?
The famous sign in right field signifying the championships and stuff. It's going to be all zeros.
Good point.
It's a strike.
Saw a picture today of their World Championship ring, picture that was sent to me, and that was pretty impressive, including 108 diamonds to signify 108 years since their championship.
Swing and a miss. Kroll gets Schwarber, but Rizzo hit a 7th inning home run to extend the Cubs lead. Matt Kemp is coming up. 7th inning stretch. That's always special when the Cubs are in town. We'll see if Atlanta can get to John Lester and get this thing in Atlanta's favor late.
in this one, bottom of the 7th. You know what happens when you win the World Series after a 108-year drought? You get a really cool ring. Cubs World Series rings have some great details. Bullseye logo crafted from 33 custom genuine red rubies that are surrounded by 108 round white diamonds, signifying the end of a historic 108-year championship drought. The exact time and date of the win is engraved inside. November 3rd, 2016 at 12:47 a.m. And how about this, guys? The ring also features a tribute to the curse that led to their century-long streak of not winning the World Series. On the inner band, there's an image of a goat.
That's
Very
pretty cool. Yeah,
guys, back to you.
I agree, Paul. It's an awesome ring.
Yeah, they did it right. As Matt Kemp leads off against John Lester. I went down to see Joe Maddon today. Only had a chance to say hello briefly. He was in a pregame meeting. I'm going to try to talk to him tomorrow, and I want to ask him about the enormity of what the Cubs accomplished in 2016. I mean, 108 years is not something to just sort of cast idly aside. And that's an incredible accomplishment for Chicago. So my question to him is going to be, was the achievement more difficult, or is now the expectation of repeating more difficult in Chicago? Especially with the kind of start that they've gotten off to. I think they were the odds-on favorite, and justifiably so, to just run away and hide in the National League Central. That hasn't happened for them yet, and might not, the way that Milwaukee has played this year. As this one's whacked toward third. Nice backhanded stab by Bryant, who throws a strike to first to get Kemp.
In a way, Chip, it ought to make all Cubs fans more appreciative, realizing, you know what, we remember how hard it was for 108 years to put one of those flags up, and that was quite an accomplishment, and it's not easy.
Well, I mean, it's a true story. In Chicago at Wrigley Field, when the ballpark was first built, they had flagpoles erected, and they still have the flags upstairs with the little pennants. First the pitch to Tyler Flowers, but the original plan was to have flagpoles on the roof to signify all the eventual world championships that the Cubs were going to win. Well, they didn't win any. The flagpoles actually rusted away. Wow. They had to replace the roof. At the corner of Clark and Addison. But they have got a world championship now, and they are building a monster. They are totally redoing the ballpark. The Wrigleyville area is changing with hotels and restaurants that the Cubs own, kind of like what the Braves are doing with the Battery. They are rapidly approaching a possible regional TV deal, kind of like the Yes Network in New York or Nesson with the Red Sox. And so the real challenge for the Cubs might be justifying their world championship last year, and for the rest of the division somehow trying to keep up with what's going to be an incredible baseball machine. Swing and a miss by Flowers.
Well, it takes winning to do that, and they've done that already.
And the courage of the Ricketts family. They bought the club from the Tribune Company, and they told their fans that we're going to tear it down. It's going to be tough. It's going to be painful. As Flowers swings and misses. Lester's retired 9 in a row now. And the Cubs went through some very, very lean years before Joe Maddon took over and inherited this club with all this young talent. They went out and got John Lester before they won the World Series. He became the horse in their rotation. And the Cubs blueprint is one that a lot of other teams are following, including the Braves, who also tore things down and hope to rise just as successfully as Chicago has. Nick Markakis has one of the 3 Atlanta hits, all of them singles. The Braves do not have a hit since the end of the 3rd inning. And this is exactly what #1 top of the rotation starters do in a tight game. They get a lead and they get better, and that's exactly what Lester's doing. 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. Braves have gotten exactly one man past first base tonight. That was Ender Inciarte, and that was on an error.
Right.
No balls, 2 strikes. Miami beat the Phillies 6-5 tonight. Pirates beat Milwaukee 4-2. Washington bombarded Cincinnati again 6-1. Bouncing ball to first. Rizzo's got it. He'll flip to Lester, who is through 7 magnificent innings. He's retired 10 straight and leads 3-1. Lester versus Tehran is our pitching duel. It's also our big story. For more on that, let's check in with Kelsey.
Thank you, Chip. Yeah, it has been a great pitching matchup tonight. One we might not expect because this ballpark has proven to be such a hitter's ballpark, but Julio Tehran has struggled at home. But BJ, he didn't really tonight. He looked pretty good.
You know, going 6 innings, giving up 2 earned runs, he really did look good. Didn't get a couple of calls on pitches early. Had 4 walks on the night, 5 strikeouts. Not a bad outing for Julio, but give it up for John Lester. He is a big-time pitcher. We talked about him struggling his last 2 starts. But when it's time to rise up, John Lester just did it. I mean, he is throwing strike after strike, keeping the hitters off balance with a nasty slider. Look at that ball just break down, and he is so smooth with it. 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts for Lester, and 5 for Julio. Great matchup by both of these guys tonight.
Yeah, and it was rough to see for Julio because those 2 runs that scored for the Cubs when he was in were 2 mistakes that he just happened to make, and the Cubs cashed it in like any good team does.
Well, this is why the Cubs are playing some good baseball right now. You know, they swept the Orioles. They're feeling pretty confident. So right now the Braves cannot make mistakes because the Cubs will capitalize.
Yeah, but Chip and Joe, you know, we'll take this outing from Julio Tehran, a quality start at home, a ballpark that he has struggled in, but we see him making the adjustments that he needs to make. So we'll take this outing, and hopefully the Braves can have another one of those late inning comebacks as they have done so many times this season.
Yeah, you're right, Kelsey. The Braves have done great work in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings this year. And maybe that's a sign that John Lester's night is done after 7 terrific innings. Hopefully Atlanta can get something done against the Cubs bullpen. But yeah, for Julio, 1 bad inning, and it all started, as we said at the time, with a leadoff walk to Jason Hayward in the bottom part of the order. And then
I thought he pitched well enough to keep his team close, keep his team in the ball game. He didn't have his best stuff. He walked 4 guys. But made pitches when he had to, and he got 2 outstanding defensive plays made behind him.
Yeah, Freddie Freeman saved 4, maybe 5 runs with his glove work at first, as Ian Happ turns around and bats right-handed against Ian Kroll. So it's the all Ian battle here in the Cubs 8th.
This is a better average side for Happ, 286 versus 247 coming in left-handed. They have 5 of their former first-round picks on their roster right now. Their most recent first-round picks, including Happ from 2015. They had no first-round pick in 2016. So not counting this year, the draft just passed. Happ, Schwarber, Bryant, Albert Almora, and Javi Baez, all first-round picks by the Cubs. Plus
a missile past Rodriguez. Wow, ball jumps off this kid's bat.
Sure
He's
does.
thinking 2. He's going to be out. The Cubs are going to take a look. That was a terrific throw from Kemp. Happ called out on a bang-bang play by Ed Hickox at second.
fastball again, split the plate, similar to the pitch that Rizzo hit out and ripped it past Rodriguez. Nice strong throw there from Matt. Ed Hickok's right there, right on top of it. Like the tag was right on the bill of the helmet.
I think they got him.
I think they got him too. I think Ed made the right call. I don't think there's enough there to turn it over for sure.
So again, as Joe mentioned, there's an issue with replay here. It's a crew chief review. As Happ and Phillips check out the play on the SunTrust Park video replay board. But your point about these young players, I mean, that's got to be the most exciting part of it for the Cubs. Every single player, with the exception of Zobrist and Lester in their lineup, is under 27 years of age.
But on top of those 5 guys that are on their roster that there were their own first-round picks, they've got Addison Russell, who was a first-round pick and the 11th pick in the draft in 12. They got Jason Hayward, who was a first-round pick by the Braves in 07 and was the 14th pick in the draft. They're loaded with guys who were first-round picks.
And the call is confirmed. Happ is out. That'll be a single. And he's thrown out 7-4. Cubs fans having a conniption. Well, as I said before, I think if the Cubs are going to get pitching, they've got offensive players to deal. The question is which ones. They already made the big deal with the White Sox, which has paid immediate dividends for them. Here's Hayward, 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. The walk against Julio, part of a 33-pitch 5th inning. And at this point, that's told the tale. The Braves led 1-0 after 4 innings of play. It's tipped off Tyler Flowers. 0-2 for Hayward. Jason's had a couple of trips to the disabled list with a finger problem and a hand problem. Second year of an 8-year mammoth contract in Chicago. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Hayward's down on strikes. Cole has his 3rd strikeout. For a crowd of 41,256 tonight, it's a sellout.
Well located breaking ball there to get him to chase and put him away.
Braves have drawn about 160,000 fans over the last 4 games against Arizona and Chicago.
That's pretty good for July, when this is the only time you're going to be here in July.
Good point. Yeah, we only have 8 home games all month. So 2 outs. Here's Baez, and that one skips up there. Sean Newcomb and John Lackey hook up here tomorrow night. Then it's a quick turnaround, a day game Wednesday. R.A. Dickey and Mike Montgomery, and then the Braves hit the road for a marathon road trip. 4 with the Dodgers in Los Angeles, 3 against the Diamondbacks. Then we fly cross country with an off day thrown in for a 4-game series with the Phillies. And that, my friends, gets us to August 1st, and we come home with the Dodgers again.
Yeah, it's a real defining trip for Atlanta. And that includes this series, really.
Smoke toward 3rd, and that skips over the shoulder of Rodriguez, who might be thinking, I came back for this. Another throw by Kemp to second. This one is off target and just safe is Baez. Boy, Ed Hickok's right in there, stuck his nose in on that play and had another excellent look.
Hanger upstairs. And those pitches are getting Sean Rodriguez undressed down there at 3rd base. That throw off the mark. Phillips lifted his hand off the bag, and Ed Hickox was not allowing that. Where was he when we needed it with Ron Gann at first base in Minnesota?
That's a very sore subject for some people on our crew. We better not go there.
Yeah.
It's already a 3-1 game. But Addison Russell's going to be called on to pinch hit. That appears to be at the end of the line for Ian Kroll. Brian Snitker will go to the mound. And we are going to take a quick break. 3-1, Chicago has your lead. And Roddy White's with him too. And I'll bet Brad Klontz will be part of the alumni homecoming weekend, August 4th, 5th, and 6th. The Marlins will be here. Got alumni autographs on Friday, a new home run derby on Saturday. I really can't wait for that. And alumni selfies on the field Sunday. It's a great weekend, always is. Braves do it first class. Greg McMichael and his alumni relations board bring a lot of your favorites back to town. Always a treat to visit them. And for ticket information, go to braves.com/alumni.
Akil Morris on to pitch for the Braves. He's done a nice job. He's really gotten the attention of a lot of people. 3 outings so far. There's Danny Santana, who's checked in the double switch. Akil Morris, 2 1/3 innings total. No hits, runs, or walks. 3 strikeouts.
Nice body block by Tyler Flowers. Mention Addison Russell, former Oakland Athletic. He came from Oakland with Dan Straley for Jeff Samardzija and Jason Hamill. That deal was in 2014, and he smokes that ball to center. Ender can't get that one, and it's up against the wall. Addison Russell with a 2-out double adds to the Cubs' lead.
That's one of the few times I've seen Ender get a less than good jump on a ball, and I think it was because it was hit low. Fastball down the middle, and it was low line drive, and he wasn't sure off the bat if it was hit hard or just right at him, and just missed.
So the Cubs pulling away now, 4-1 in the 8th inning with Ben Zobrist up. And the point I wanted to make about Addison Russell is this: if you don't think starting pitching can bring you great value in return when teams are fighting for a playoff spot, look no further than that deal the Cubs pulled off with Oakland. And that's again why the Braves are stockpiling pitching. John Coppolella has said, and it certainly has been proven true in the history of the Braves franchise, the currency of baseball is pitching. With it, you can go get whatever you need. And if you have enough good pitching, you don't need a whole lot else.
That's true.
So the Braves pen tonight has struggled again. A run allowed in the 7th, a run allowed here in the 8th. It's charged to Ian Kroll. And now Keel's gone 3-0 to Zobrist, who just took strike 1.
Oh.
There's that changeup.
That's a good one. 95 down to 79.
Koji Uehara, Brian Densing getting ready for the Cubs. And strike 3. Nice comeback from Morris to get Zobrist. But back-to-back 2-out doubles extends the Chicago lead to 4-1. One Chicago. Tonight's game is on AFN, the American Forces Network, now in its 75th year of broadcasting to American military personnel overseas in more than 170 countries and naval ships at sea. Welcome to those of you watching tonight, and thank you for your service. We welcome you back to SunTrust Park in Atlanta, Georgia. First game of 3 between the Atlanta Braves and Chicago Cubs. John Lester with 7 innings of 3 hit 1-run ball gives way to Koji Uehara, who's on for the 35th time.
Good numbers. 3.23 ERA, 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Right-hander's not doing much with him at all. High 80s fastball and a split. His split finger pitch is his out pitch. Throws an occasional cutter.
Addison Russell checks into the game to play shortstop as Uehara turns it loose, and Rodriguez fouls it at the plate. Sean Rodriguez making his season debut for the Braves. Ben Zobrist takes over in left field for Kyle Schwarber. The Cubs have their defensive team on as Baez shifts over to second base. Rodriguez, Camargo, and Santana. Danny Santana checked in the double switch for the Braves in the top of the 8th. And fouled straight back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. No Aroldis Chapman to close games for the Cubs anymore. He's back with the Yankees. They've got Wade Davis. All he's done is go 17 for 17 in save chances this year. See if the Braves can make an 8th inning rally and take him out of the equation.
Well, again, they've
broken bat. Bryant has it hit off the heel of his glove and an errant throw, but Rizzo with a nice move inside the first base bag to get his man for the first out.
Anthony Rizzo really slick around the base. Good footwork, good hands. Bryant didn't panic here, even though he got a nice bounce right in front of him off the glove. But they've chosen a different path. They've got all these position players. They trade for a closer. He becomes a free agent, Chapman. And they go get one. They just keep replacing pitchers that come and go.
And that's the luxury of drawing 3 million fans every year in Chicago. With all that Wrigley Field has going for them, they can write as many checks as they want. But the core, mostly homegrown Cubs. That's inside for Camargo. 1 ball, 1 strike. Braves got some good news in AAA last night. Chris Medlin had a 7 strikeout performance over 7 innings. He's trying to make his way back to the big leagues. There's a shot towards center, but it's going to hang up. And Happ comes over and makes the grab. One of the hardest hit balls of the night for the Braves.
Yeah, they almost overran it. Because as we've seen so many times from Camargo, his line drives carry. They've got a little bit of backspin to them, and whoa.
Guess your heart's pumping a little bit when you see that ball rising at the last minute, huh?
Yeah, there's a few other thoughts that go through your mind, and they're not suitable for air.
But the glove big enough to handle that shot, as Danny Santana is back in the box for the first time since he was placed on the DL. And he had an infection of some sort. Braves got that sorted out. Went down to Gwinnett, swung the bat real well. He had a 5 for 5 day the other day for Gwinnett. And he takes a strike, even count. Kind of like the way the bench looks for the Braves these days. It was one of the big questions we had about the club coming out of spring training. And like every 25-man roster evolves, well, your bench evolves too, with all the comings and goings. Tonight the Braves have Matt Adams off the bench. Santana switch hits. Dansby Swanson, Lane Adams, Kurt Suzuki. That's not shabby at all.
Well, and look how many weren't on the roster opening day.
Yeah, that's a good point. Swing and a miss. And the Braves have been retired 13 up, 13 down by the Chicago Cubs staff. We go to the 9th.
Here in the Battery, Atlanta, I'm Kelsey Wingert alongside Brian Jordan, and we are waiting patiently here with you for hopefully another Braves late inning comeback. But after the game, we will be here to break down this incredible pitching matchup from the starting pitching we saw.
Great pitching duel by Julio Teheran and John Lester. Big bounce back game for John Lester, though. He was outstanding.
Well, like I said, crossing our fingers, there are still 3 more outs for the Braves to make it a comeback. We'll see if they can get it done again, but we'll see you right back here for Braves Live right when the game ends.
All right, Kelsey and BJ, look forward to joining you after the Braves come back tonight. We're in the 9th. Chris Bryant against Akil Morris. Bryant is 0 for 4 and takes ball 1 inside. Both clubs with 3-game winning streaks working tonight. Braves will have the top of the order in the 9th inning. And Kelsey and Brian are right. The story of this game for me is John Lester and his terrific work. 7 innings of 3-hit ball with 6 strikeouts and a walk. You knew Lester was going to be motivated after getting pummeled by the Pirates before the All-Star break, and unfortunately he was typically good against the Braves. As we told you, 7 quality starts in 7 career starts against Atlanta. Tonight another one. Last year 1 earned run in 14 innings pitched.
We also said get him earlier, risk not getting him, and all 3 of the hits came in the combined in the 2nd and 3rd innings.
So Bryant digs in, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And he pulls this one into the shift. Marco's got a terrific arm, makes the play. There's the first out. Something else tonight that might be lost in what's now a 4-1 game. I mentioned it briefly earlier. Braves bullpen has frankly not been all that good collectively this month. They've got to figure that out. This was a 2-1 game until those last 2 runs came across, and I know you've said so many times, Joe, it's those add-on runs late when you're trying to stay in a game that are really back-breaking plays.
And it will become increasingly more important as this stretch of games continues, because you just can't give up those extra runs against these good ball clubs.
Anthony Rizzo hit a 7th inning home run off Ian Kroll. And takes one in the dirt. Keel's got a good fastball.
Well, that's what I think sets up his changeup so well, is the drastic difference in velocity between the 2.
Into the shift. Phillips, nice play with the backhand. 2 outs. And here's Wilson Contreras. Before we get too far along in the ball game, before we end, I should say, I want to wish happy birthday to our great statistician, Drew Jenkins.
Yeah, happy birthday, Arbuckle.
Yeah, I was going to say Drew is his stage name, just in case you wondered. Arbuckle's his real name. So, happy birthday, Dr. J. No balls and a strike for Contreras, and that's going to scatter the Cubs down the 3rd base line. 0-2.
Gosh, their railing in their dugout looks like September. So many guys, you know, called up and filling up a dugout. Everybody up on the rail.
Swing and a miss. Good heat by Keel Morris, who works a 1-2-3 ninth. Last call for Atlanta. 1, 2, and 3 on the lineup card. It starts with Ender Inciarte, Brandon Phillips, Freddie Freeman, Wade Davis, we presume, coming on for the Cubs in a 4-1 game. Delta Airlines presents a free MC Hammer post-game concert. The Cincinnati Reds will be in town. Get your field passes for $20 today. Go to Braves.com/MC Hammer and be a part of the party. It's 4-1, bottom of the ninth inning, and it will be Wade Davis coming on for Chicago. Tough inning for him. He's got the top of the order coming up for the Braves.
Boy, though, he's been outstanding. Perfect 17 for 17 in the save department. His usual ton of strikeouts in 31 innings. Fastball again, a lot of cutters and a curveball. Fastball sits in the low to mid 90s. 27 saves for the Royals last year, and the Cubs traded one of their bats, Jorge Soler, to the Royals to get Wade Davis, who's 31 years old, and 17 out of 17 this year in saves. This was a man that the Nationals tried to sign or acquire and were unable to pull off a deal. The Cubs struck very quickly to get him. And a strike for Inciarte. Tell you, the Nationals really helped themselves though with the trade they made, getting Madsen and Doolittle.
They may be joining the Nationals tomorrow. They open up a series with the Angels in interleague play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Davis became the first pitcher in big league history with back-to-back years of an ERA of 1 or lower with Kansas City. As this one's poked up the middle, Baez to his right, strong arm makes the play, 1 out.
Nice play.
Last 3 years, 9-2, 3 saves, a 1-point ERA in 2014, 8-1, 17 saves in 2015, an 0.94 ERA. And last year's ERA ballooned up to 1.87 with 27 saves, but he was pitching much more frequently. Amazing. Brandon Phillips has the lone RBI, one of 3 Braves hits. That one's sharply hit. Russell can't get it. Another multi-hit game for Brandon Phillips. We'll take a 4-game hit streak into game 2 here tomorrow.
Boy, is he locked in. Waited on that fastball. stayed back, head down. That was a sweet swing right there.
Well, Braves have the right guys at the right time. Need another base runner. See what Freddie Freeman can do. He's 0 for 3. Down the right field line. The Braves are in business. Phillips on his way to third. Freeman's going to stop. Atlanta's got him at the corners, and the tying run will come to the plate. What did we say an inning ago or so? Sometimes the Braves save their best for last and save it for late. They've got a shot against Davis tonight.
Cutter that didn't cut right in the center of the plate. Freddie's been going after that first pitch. Here he connects. First time he'd faced Wade Davis.
So Joe Madden has to ponder the possibilities if the Braves get this thing tied in the ninth. At Kemp 0 for 3.
And 0 for 1 in his career against Davis.
Matt's last homer was a 3-run homer. Another one here would get it tied. And he didn't offer. Ball 1 low. I believe Davis had a long look in. Jim Johnson's getting up in the Atlanta pen. In case the Braves have a big inning and take the lead here.
Good fastball. 96. Started him with a curveball. That's a quick fastball. That's a sneaky. I mean, it's 96. Doesn't have to be sneaky, but it's on you quickly. They're outfield deep. Concede a single and a run. Try to prevent a double.
That one gets away. That's going to score a run. That's going to get Freeman to second base. It's 4-2. That's about as wild a pitch as we've seen in this ballpark. Contreras had no chance.
Breaking ball, same one he started the at bat with, except that it was about 7 feet short.
Runner at second, 1 in, 1 out. 4-2 game now. Good cut by Kemp. And an hour and 3 weather delay to get things started. Braves are approaching the midnight hour, trying to pull off a 9th inning comeback.
Matt, a little better timing on that fastball that time. Catching up to it.
Missed inside. So looky here. If Kemp can reach, Matt Adams is on deck. He would hit for Tyler Flowers. Inciarte hit a sharp ground ball and was retired. Phillips singled. Freeman singled. Now Kemp with a 3-2 pitch coming. He represents the tying run.
See what Davis comes up with here.
Sharply hit, a base hit. Freeman around third. He's going to be waved. It's a 1-run game.
Like I said, Matt had a better swing on the fastball. He fouled off. He got another one at 96 and didn't miss it. Here they come again. clutch hitting late in the ball game, a sign of a good team. RBI number 45 for Kemp.
So Matt Adams was the man in the on-deck circle. It wasn't Tyler Flowers. Flowers is going to hit. The pitcher spot is due after Tyler is up. The Braves are going to bring on Lane Adams to pinch run for Kemp. Let's see how Atlanta plays it with Adams. What you don't want, obviously, is a ground ball at a Cub infielder. A double play ends the game. So Chris Bosio, the Cubs pitching coach, out to try to settle down Wade Davis, who's given up 3 straight singles and 2 runs to make it a 4-3 game in the ninth. Ron Washington with a chat with Tyler Flowers. Let's see what those two conspire here in the ninth inning. So it's Adams for Kemp at first.
And Tyler's due. He's 0 for his last 8. Remember, Contreras behind the plate, while he may be wild with his throws, 13 errors, he has a terrific arm and has thrown out 32% of base stealers. A great number.
Tyler Flowers 2 for 6 against Wade Davis. That was close at first.
And as we suspected, Rizzo with a different setup, holding runners now.
Lane's got a good lead. Twitching. He's going. Good jump. Pitch in the dirt. Contreras can't make a throw.
What a weapon. What a weapon that speed is for Lane Adams. Not to mention the clutch bases loaded double he had against Arizona. But no hesitation at all on the part of Brian Snitker to let him go.
So now the tying run in scoring position. And Tyler Flowers, as you said, is due. He's 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. And he had a good rip. That stolen base, barring a base running error, guarantees that Matt Adams is going to come to the plate. One ball, one strike. Fly ball, well hit center. Happ on the run, still going to the track, and a couple steps shy of the wall. Flowers just missed. It's a deep fly ball, and Adams is at third base with 2 outs. That was close.
Yes, it was. He put a good swing on it. That's a tough play with you when you're the base runner at second base too, because you don't want to get caught standing on second base tagging up if the ball gets over Happ's head. You're the tying run. Cutter. Tyler stayed on it. Wade Davis looked skyward like, oh no, because that ball jumped. So you see Lane Adams there. He was reading, and then when he saw the ball caught, tagged up and moved on.
So the Cubs are going to take the bat out of the hands of Matt Adams. They'll walk him intentionally.
This is where Joe Madden has no book. You know, he doesn't go by the book. He just walked a potential winning run in the bottom of the ninth. He doesn't go by the old school stuff.
So Adams is walked intentionally. Dansby Swanson comes on as a pinch runner. And again, it's Sean Rodriguez in his season debut, a chance to get it tied with 2 outs, 2 on in the ninth inning. And Rodriguez almost got hit. He looks back at C.B. Buckner. Wonders how that didn't clip his uniform.
Hanging curveball.
I think it did.
Yeah.
But he didn't get the call. Now it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Boy, talk about a difference-making pitch. That ball appeared to graze the uniform sleeve of Sean Rodriguez, which would have loaded the bases. Dansby's running. The pitch, a strike. It's a stolen base, but now the Braves are down to their last strike.
This is only fitting that Sean Rodriguez be up there right now. His first game of the season. And after all he's gone through, to get here tonight and to be in this spot.
A hit could win the game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good take. Davis muscled up to 98 miles an hour.
Didn't know he could. Boy, is there pressure on the defense.
The 2-2 in the dirt. That popped away.
Game saver right there.
If that rolls to the on deck circle, this game would have been tied.
Well, he's just getting a piece of this breaking ball. Remember, the one before bounced over his shoulder. Somehow, some way, Contreras kept the tying run from scoring.
So the risk versus reward inning. The Cubs take the bat out of the hands of Matt Adams. They walk him, put the winning run on. Dansby Swanson pinch run, stands at second. Now it's a 3-2 pitch. Did he go? He did not. Bases are loaded. And the Cubs can't believe it.
They erupted on that.
The Cubs thought the game was over. Instead, a check swing call goes Atlanta's way. Ball 4, and there's no place to put Camargo, who's coming up.
My, oh my. There was no immediate reaction for an appeal. See, Contreras is still sitting there, and Rodriguez was 15-20 feet down the line before they even appealed. It's a real rarity that they're going to overturn or ring a guy up when he's almost halfway down the line.
So now here's Camargo, who has been so good. Who has the advantage? The veteran relief pitcher or the young rookie who could care less about anybody's pedigree?
He could care less about his stuff. And it's going to be hard to set him up because it's like pitching in a cat game. But the edge is still with the guy who's been perfect in saves all year, even though he's struggling tonight.
1 ball, no strikes. Little roller is foul.
That cutter is such a neutralizer, and he threw that one at 92. It can bite in on your hand so fast, and his curveball stinks tonight. I'd be shocked if he threw him one.
Adams, Swanson, Rodriguez, the runners. Dansby and Adams, the only 2 that matter. They represent the tying and winning runs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Davis has to throw a 25th pitch in the inning. Now Camargo down to his last strike.
And he is airing out that fastball. 97 on that one. This is kind of like Kemp's at bat, though, where Matt fouled one off, got a little better feel for it, and then yanked a base hit through the hole.
Everybody on their feet. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here it is. Fought it off. What a battle.
I don't even think that was a strike. I don't know how he got up to that one. This may be a 2-pitch visit. Let's throw this pitch A to set up pitch B and try to get out of this. But he has been late on the fastball.
Again, 1 ball, 2 strikes. He didn't offer. And here's the pitch Davis wants action on. Now it's 2-2. High pop, shallow left. Zobrist is there, and the Cubs hang on and win. Great comeback by Atlanta in the 9th inning to score twice. They loaded the bases before Davis nails down a very shaky 18th save. And those add-on runs, Joe, in the 7th and 8th innings really hurt. Those were the difference in the Cubs series opening win tonight.
Yeah, we talk about them all the time, Chip, and tonight proved it again that you just got to try to hold that lead at 1 or 2 runs so you get a chance to come back.
So the Cubs snap the Braves' 3-game winning streak. They extend their win streak to 4 in a row. 4-3 the final score tonight. John Lester beats Julio Teheran. Davis picks up his 18th save before a sellout crowd of 41,256. Great to have Sean Rodriguez back in a big league uniform. And hopefully Rodriguez and the Braves can rally and even up this series tomorrow night at a game apiece. Sean Newcomb versus John Lackey. Braves live at 7. First pitch at 7:35. For my partner Joe Simpson, good to have you back, buddy. We'll talk about game 1 and Chicago's win 4-3 the final on Braves Live next.